Congresswoman-elect Maria Salazar Werner, Republican from the state of Florida, joins me now. Congresswoman-elect, do you welcome this wave of Cuban migrants coming to your state, or do you want to send them back?
Well, that's a fantastic question. I have to say to you, what would you do if you're escaping tyranny? If you're escaping one of the worst tyrannies in the Western Hemisphere? I would try to solve the problem at home. But what you're saying, Tampa, Miami, Florida is another border state. And the President Biden has introduced or presented a new measure that is just a little tiny Band-Aid on a very big bleeding wound, which is the whole immigration problem. Cuba, Haitian, Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, Hondurans, everyone wants to come to the promised land. Do you blame them? No, I don't. So what we need to do as a serious administration is to overhaul the immigration system. And yours truly, Maria Salazar, Republican, has introduced the only overhaul immigration system law to the Biden administration, but they just don't pay attention to us. Now so when the president says, I'm going to go to the border, that's wonderful. He should come to Key West and to Florida and to see what's happening on the other side and work with us, the Republicans.
Well, the president's going to, I believe, El Paso. I think he's going to be there on Sunday. He is going to visit the border. I take it you don't expect anything substantive.
Go every week.
But you don't think anything substantive is going to come out of this, no?
It's all posturing. It's all posturing. It's time for us, Republicans and Democrats, to sit down and fix the immigration mess that we have at the southern border. President Biden, two things. He promised within the first 100 days of his presidency that he was going to introduce immigration reform. He didn't do it. Now he's saying that he's going to go to the border. Good, a little bit too late, but fine, we welcome him. After that, he should go to Florida and really tackle the immigration situation that we have in this country. We have an impasse in Washington that I am part of that, and we're trying to solve it this morning. But we have a major, big problem with immigration. And like I said, I introduced the Dignity Act, and no one is paying attention to me.
Okay, well, I am, and we are, but I want to talk to you about the Speaker's election.
No, I mean the Biden administration.
Okay, got it. Your colleague, Congressman-elect Don Bacon, he's ripping into the Republican holdouts who won't vote for Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. Just watch this for a second. Roll it.
And it's on these 20 people. They're embarrassing the House. They're embarrassing the Republicans. They're embarrassing our country.
Okay. How do you feel about these 20 holdouts and the inability to elect a Speaker?
And thank you for asking me. I look at it very similar to what I was telling you about the Cubans, the Venezuelans, specifically the Cubans. I look at it in a positive way. This is democracy. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. We're all frustrated. I was talking to Mr. Bacon yesterday. Of course that we don't like it. But you know, those Cubans that are trying to come in and they're now invading the island of Tortuga, they would rather have this system and what's happening in the last 3 days than what they are suffering and that they're escaping from. Okay. So look at it. It's the best. It's messy, but it's the best democracy on earth. That we don't like it, of course. That we need to fix it, we have to. But in 1855, it took them 3 months. And look what the founding fathers created. What a great country we have.
Okay.
So it's a different angle to the same story.
I'm coming up against a hard break, so I have to leave you. But thanks very much for joining us, Congresswoman-elect. We appreciate it, always. Thanks very much.
Sure. Thank you for having me.